Okay. So basically, what is the agenda for today? It's very simple. First, okay. So to check existing SSRS report. The idea is not to create a new report right now. It is to check the existing SSRS report. So what we'll need to do is go into the website and see how it is actually in IIS. Right? You'll see from IIS. From there, we will figure out what where exactly is the reporting server. So we will trace out where is the reporting server located. Right? Reporting server, location of reporting server, and then whether it is configurations related to reporting server. This is the web part. Okay. And once we get to know about this one, next what we will do is we will identify the one of the reports. Right. Go by one of the reports. Right. Look into the in this report now. One, we will look into the RDL file, which is actually the complete definition of the report. RDL stands for report definition. Okay, report definition language, RDL, right? So the report definition, and then we'll also see from the reporting server how we can actually pick up this RDL file, right? This we will see in the reporting server, right? Reporting server, see the RDL file, and then RDL file points to stored procedures, which will actually pick up the data and display it in the RDL file. And then third thing that we will see is the web code, in which the filters, I mean headers, filters, and the report module, right? Report viewer are showing up. Okay, these are the areas we are going to cover up today, right? So we'll take one of the reports and then see how it goes about. Okay, so one of my favorite areas I'm going in. So reports. So normally what happens in a normal report, right? See, if you are looking for Elasticsearch report or any other report, you'll find your system with the report within the system. Whereas in an SSRS report, it will be like, it will be coming out as an extra screen. Basically, the thing is, this is one part of the code and this is a different part of the code. Okay, just making you familiar with what an how an SSRS report looks like, and how to actually differentiate whether it is an SSRS report or not. Traditionally, in Entiger, right, most of the SSRS report look with a similar kind of an view. Okay, so it's like the header will be there, the head, some report name and all of that. This one, and then you'll have the drop downs, and you have a generate button. And once you click on the generate button, yeah, this is actually saying about the dates. So let's say we pick up some dates and then click on the due date, and then let's try generating report. Session. Okay, loading. Yeah, okay. Took some time. So this is the report view, the report view area. Probably the data is not there for the selection. and so it is not able to render the report. Yeah, so now you can see that there's nothing but more of the column names are there, and for those columns there is a stored procedure which is behind. When I click on the generate report, there is a .NET code which picks up all this data. It's like a normal .NET code which has all these drop downs, and the values are selected, and it is passed on to the stored procedure, and the stored procedure through the RDL file, and the RDL file actually passes it on and gets it into the report, this view. So this is the report. And what are the other things that you can do in a report is like you can just export into an Excel. Okay. One other variation I can actually show up. These are all more of a tabular form of reports. They're like data is coming in like this. The other type of reports, I'll have to log in into a different system. Just give me a second. Adani SSR reports. I'm going into the system, Adani system. Let's see how it works. We'll disconnect from there. Adani, I'm connecting with Adani. Okay, so Adani. Okay. So basically, need to check that. And then when you click on the report section pops up as separate thing. That's one of the ways in which you can actually identify that this is an SSR report, particularly in context of N-type. You can also see this reports, and all of this, right? So there are different reports. I'd like to pick up on the trail gap. Okay, more or less the same. You'll have some drop downs, and then once you click on the drop down and any one of this and click on generate report, it'll take some time. It's waiting for the report. The report will show up in the report viewer part here. If I'm right, there are about 40 different customers that we are supporting. And in that, at least about 10 to 15 customers will be having this SSRS report, the old reports that are there. right? And going for each of them, like the needs of the customers will keep on changing, and they end up asking for reports most of the time. And it's very important that we are in a position to support, make the changes, and put it back into an working condition as soon as possible. Come on. Normally it doesn't take so much of time. Okay, in the meanwhile, let me actually pick up the database. Okay, it's a timeout error. Okay, let me pick up for a smaller volume. Okay, it is 0 and generate. Okay, so in the system, have you got the report? Yes, this is the report. You can see this report, right? Everyone is able to see it. Okay. Am I audible? Hello.
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. So now let's actually consider this as the start. Okay. So this trail gap report, which is there, right? So you can actually see the blocks in this one. This is the header. And then there is this filter part, which has multiple drop downs. They work because of .NET and not because of SSRS. Most of us think that this entire thing is SSRS. Only this much part is SSRS. All the topmost portion, this entire thing is HTML, CSS, and .NET. Okay, it comes into picture. The SSRS comes into picture after you click on the generate report, and how this button gets invoked. Everything is JavaScript. So if you are familiar with HTML, CSS, and all of that, the formatting of the screen and everything, you are in an easy position to actually do that. Okay, this designing is something which will be done in the report builder. We'll talk about this one tomorrow. Today we will keep it out of scope, right? Today's idea is to actually see how we can support the existing report without making much of a change. You don't really need much installations. You just can go and do the improvements, right? Now, when I say this trail gap report, right? Trail gap report. We'll go by the trail gap report. Okay. The trail gap report on the server. Okay. So this is the database server, right? In the database server, there is something called the reporting services, SQL reporting services. In that, the bunch of reports, RDL files, these are called RDL files, and there will be a data source. All these things will be there in the system. Okay. Now, if we, how do we arrive at this one, right? How do we arrive at this one? First, let me actually go into the If you are given a request to support this system, how do we arrive at this particular the code base, where exactly is the code and how to fix it, right? Let me go into the website where we host the IIS.
Sir, 26 server.
26 server.
Yes.
This one is it?
No,
26
no, sir. Down one. Product CMS app 01. Up, sir.
CMS app 01. Sorry.
Fourth one.
Thanks, man. So we are in this. Then we have our
Take
IIS.
RDP, sir, from here. Not this one, sir.
Not this one.
Just RDC. Take RDC, sir, from here.
Okay. Not this one for sure.
Yes, sir.
ये है ना reporting.
सर इसके अंदर एक और सर्वर है सर, उसमें जाना पड़ेगा. 26 सर्वर is there.
Okay, so that will be the database server, na?
No, sir. Production server, app server.
Okay, you want me to go there? ठीक है.
Yes.
$26.
Yes.
Okay, need to
Put the password.
So basically, if one person has to actually connect to one server and go to another server and then to the third client 1 to client 2 to client 3 to client 4, it will be nightmarish.
Yes.
So instead of that, the idea is if each one who is already handling the system has the idea about how to handle it, a lot of these things can be simplified. Like it may not be that complex, right? Very simple activities. Okay, so we are in the server, right?
Yes, sir.
Server, and here is the reporting server. See, normally what we actually see is the reporting server, right? So auth, web API, everyone knows. I'm actually pointing to this something called reports. It could be here or it could be outside also, but this is the reporting reports folder. Yeah. Once you open the reports folder, right? So there are different things. We'll go directly into the web config. The web config tells where our reporting server is and how it is configured. See, it says that 10.0.0.130 report server. This is where the server, this one is configured. Okay. So reports are being processed from the reporting server. So for SSRS, unlike the website like IIS, a reporting server is something which is important. Now, along with this, there is an username and password. These two things are important because even if you try to open this site as it is, right, it will ask for the username and password. Okay. Now, 10.0.0.130, 10.0.0.130. Okay. So that one would be in the other side. The reporting server. Yeah. So 10.0.0.130. You can see this one, right? This is the one. And inside, when I actually try to open that site, right? It will actually open up either in this format, wherein it will show up the this come actually. Okay, so what actually happens is the SQL Server 2016 Reporting Services Configuration Manager. This is what you need to actually connect with to be able to pick up your reports. Okay, so once it is posted, it will be there in this location, and when you click on this one, it will open up, and that is where you saw the entire list of the reports, that this reports part. Okay, how come it is not showing? Yeah, Adani reports. Okay, so this is where you will find all these reports part, right? In the Adani reports, what we have actually seen is the trail gap report. So click on the trail gap report. It's the same thing. This is the report view. Like I said, no, the bottom part is the report view, right? So when you actually try to download this file, right, there is when you click on this three dots, it will have something called manage, right? Manage, delete, move, download, and all of it. So what you can do is simply download that file, and what happens is it actually downloads as an RDL file, Adani Trail Gap RDL file. Okay, so all you need to know is this RDL file and the stored procedure behind it. Save, open in folder. So this is the RDL file. You can open it even in the text pad also. More or less looks like an XML file, and it gives the details. Okay. In this is the parameter wherein we have actually seen that there was this product, region, state, city, bomb bucket, branch, agency, agent. Let me relate this to the screen we have seen earlier. Product, subproduct, region, state, city, branch, bomb bucket, agency, and agent. Okay. Now, these are all the parameters we are going to pass on to the stored procedure, which is there. USP underscore Adani trail gap dashboard, right? And the outcome of this dashboard, this stored procedure, will be shown in the format which is given below. Correct? Name, status, value, gap, NC, contact, right? All these are the fields which are coming back out of it. So the fields which will be utilized here will be shown up over here. Got it? And then there is a chart that has actually been designed. So the chart will be used and the report will be coming in. Tomorrow we will actually discuss on how to create the new one, and there again we will see. But for now we are only talking about how to support the existing system. Tomorrow we'll go much more into the depths. We'll start from scratch and build the entire report. Okay, so that's how it is. So what we will be interested in right now to actually make this today's session productive is we will only concentrate on the stored procedure, which is that USP underscore Adani trail gap dashboard because that's the crux of it. Yeah. So wherever your reporting server is there, right? You'll have the database and then you have the reporting server, right? You'll have the database and the reporting server. And here also it will actually show where the database is and where the reporting server is, right? So it will point to the same database. अभी क्या करेंगे वहां पे जाके reporting server prod, yeah, reporting server prod is the one which is it is connected to report server prod, right? So now what will happen is along with it the database which it is connected to will be showing up in your configuration file, which was part of our code earlier. Have you seen this here or somewhere else? I think inside. Where did it go? Yeah. What was I looking for? This is the one. And then we are looking for the database connection inside this. Yeah, so the database connection, it actually says this is the database and this is your initial catalog, user ID, password, and all of that. So you know that. So basically, if there are any problems in the system, you need to actually check upon this database connection if it is correct with the user ID and password. When it comes to the reporting server, check whether these are correct. It's like nothing but the URL for reporting server, whether your web auth is correct or not, web token is correct or not, the username and password which will give the access to this report server is correct or not. Sometimes your passwords might change, means the server password might change, which means you need to change it at that time. Many times your issues with the SSRS reports are cyclic. Once in a month, the password is changed and suddenly that report stops working, mainly because of this password change. Okay, so now going back into the context, we are picking up this database N-Tiger DB prod. Okay, N-Tiger DB prod. Now inside the N-Tiger DB prod, you remember, if you remember right, we were looking at the stored procedures. You will see stored procedures. The stored procedure which we were actually looking at is Adani Trailgap dashboard. Yeah, something which we have seen here, USB underscore Adani Trailgap dashboard. Now that is what is feeding into this particular report. Just in case there are number mismatches, issue is there and all of that, all you need to do is get into this stored procedure. Okay. And let's see, try and execute it. Gap is 22,747, NC, contact, PTP, BP, PTP, and paid, and all of this is there. Let's see what happens in our content report also. So we sent a 3-wheeler and bomb bucket as 0, and it gave you some numbers. So these numbers were actually coming from that very stored procedure, this very one, right? So, so a 3-wheeler and let's say the bomb bucket was 0. I will try to execute. We should get the similar same results. 73, 24, 21, and all of that. Okay. Now, if you go into the code, inside the code, right, more or less, it will have a bunch of joins, the loan accounts, feedback, agency user, agency application org. This is a familiar code. Most of you know, understand this one, right? So most of you are writing this code. So that's the thing. And the filters that are there, right? They are used into an and conditions. And that actually makes sure that the data is filtered out to the minimum extent. And then finally, what happens? Some aggregations logics are there. CTs are written down. Most of you, I believe, are familiar with CTs. Is there anyone who needs some understanding about CTs, or everyone understands it? Everyone understands CTs? Have I lost everyone? Salim, you understand CTs, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Okay, everyone understands CTs, right? Lavanya, Nane, Aman,
Yes, sir.
Keshav. Yeah, okay, everyone understands it. Okay, so what is actually there is the CTs that will be executed, right? So one of the things that we have identified in Adani is when they are saying the reports are not matching, it is that their disposition codes are not matching. That's it. So moving things here and there would have actually just got the numbers matching, right? So it could be so simple as changing this DL and putting something, some other code, or just totally wiping it off and putting the set of codes which actually makes it non-contact, or what is contact and what is PTP, right? What is PTP, what is paid, and all of that, right? And then finally, what happens? The outcome of that is finally the final projection, which is like this select statements, right? These series of select statements are the ones which are feeding into the report section. Okay, so you can see that there is a select, and then there is an union all, union all, union all, union all, union all. So all of them put together turns out to be the final outcome, the data, right? That's what is coming out as the count, right? I'll remember, this is what it is. Okay, now let me show the second part. Till now, is it clear for everyone? Is this clear until now? Any questions at this point of time? Silence is golden. Either it means everyone understood or nothing is understood. Okay, I believe everyone understood. The second part is, see, there is something called a download report. Every report which is there has a download part also. So when you click on the download part, right, it gives you the detailed part of the reports. Now here, what is actually there is another RDL file. Like I was showing the previous one, right? There is another RDL file that is related to that is related to, this is the Trailgap dashboard, and this is the Trailgap download, right? So what is actually getting shown up when you say download? It is this one. The formatting, everything is designed in the RDL file, like I was telling before, right? The RDL file, right? This is for Trailgap. We'll download it for Trailgap download and then see how it looks like. Trailgap download. Save, open folder, Trailgap download. Okay, so this is the download part. So here also there are some parameters which are more or less the same as what you have in the dashboard. And then here, if you see the stored procedure which is being said is Adani Trailgap download. In other words, when I clicked on the download button or the download link, what happened is the report automatically moved to the Adani Trailgap download.rdl, and it started picking up data from there and started showing up on the screen. right? Now, how does that download report look like in terms of the database? And there on, think so. No, not here. The other one. Yeah, okay. So here, where there is a Trailgap dashboard, you will have Trailgap download. You need to just open it up, and then let's see how it fires up. Gives the agreement ID, bomb pause, and all of this. This is no more less, nothing more than what we have seen in the RDL file. This is the format of the data, right? And this is the format of the report. The report is actually coming in that format only, right? It's just a dump of that data. So in other words, what I want everyone to understand is, an SSRS report is not very complex. It's very simple, provided you know that the blocks of data, the blocks of code that is there is first part header, and then this entire thing is nothing more than a .NET code, which is having these drop downs and all of that, which will be loaded the way you load in the normal .NET code, right? And then there is this button, and this is the reporting view, and this is where the SSRS comes into picture. In the SSRS part, this one, you can have either a tabular form, which is like this, or you can have some set of charts and all of that, which is like this. And this part, how to configure it, we will discuss it tomorrow. How to configure these reports, if just in case we need to modify and everything, that we will discuss it tomorrow, and that will need some extra installations. Right now, for supporting and maintaining, you definitely do not need any kind of installation. You just need to use the common sense, look at where exactly is the reporting server, right? It's very simple. Just take the reporting server path, which was in this. Take the reporting server path, and then look at the username and password. Once you go into the server, open the configuration manager like I did earlier. Open the configuration manager, not this one, and then in the configuration manager, this one I have opened configuration manager. All I did is went to search and I said configuration manager. It says reporting services configuration manager. Once you open the reporting services configuration manager, you will have details like the service account, web service URL, right? When you click on the web service URL, this one, it will give you the list of reports that are there. Database, mostly it is set up. If you want to change the database, you can change it. Web portal URL. This is what is most important. Web portal URL. And once you click on this one, it will open up somewhat like that, right? For the first time, it would ask for the password, user ID and password. It will pop up just like it does for a Windows system, right? And once you give the user ID and password, it will give you options to actually open up this folder structure. Why is it taking time? Yeah, it's taking time. That's it. Okay, at this point of time, any questions anyone has?
No.
No, nah? Fairly simple, right? Easy to manage. Okay, so once in the folders, go inside, and these are the files which are actually placed in. Okay, I forgot to tell about the data source. Okay, I'll just download this. Or rather, I'll just open it up. This is nothing but your connection string. So rather than writing this in every single RDL file, a connection string is given, and this in all each of the RDL files that are there, right? Which is the main reporting, the main report part. The main report part, every single system, every single RDL file will be connected to this one. So I go into the manage. Inside the manage, there is something called data source, and that data source turns out to be none other than this data source. This data source, which is already there. Okay. So that's a linking between the data source and the RDL file. Okay. Okay. So likewise, you will have the trail gap report, trail intensity report, payment dashboard, money movement, right? ACT. So you'll have a dashboard and download. That's the combination like that. Got it, na? Right? So so that's the thing. And to summarize to the end, once you have got this RTL files, you find out what is the place where you can find the stored procedure. What's the name of the stored procedure? Mostly the naming convention is followed, and that's why the naming convention is followed, and that's why you'll find that the trail gap report, trail gap dashboard will find trail gap dashboard, trail gap download, you will find trail gap download, right? Likewise, when you say trail intensity, you will find trail intensity dashboard, trail intensity download, and then you'll find ACT, you'll find the equivalent of ACT. This is a base for creation, but you'll find Adani ACT dashboard, Adani ACT download. So reports will be like that. Okay. Okay, I forgot to tell one more thing. These drop downs which are coming in, right, are unlike our entire system, are all written down in the stored procedure. So even though there is a .NET code, the .NET code is what is it doing? It is actually picking up data from the database, right, in the form of a stored procedure. So when we are saying that there is this let's say a product master. Product master is nothing but the code written just like this, like the code, product ID, and name as product. Correct? Select code and name just with the new names, and then it is uploaded. It's loaded. Product master. Then if you want to see the region, it's like this. Just the distinct of ID and name. It turns out to be region ID and region name. State. More or less, all the drop downs are designed just like this. So anywhere in the system, you will find that the drop downs on the top are just the stored procedures. Without even touching the code, you can just go into the database, and most of the things you will be able to support and change. Any questions at this point of time? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Nanne, it's your system, Adani.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So basically, I can tell Joe that Nanne will be supporting Adani from today onwards.
Okay, okay.
Right. Likewise, wherever there are reports, right? Aman, there is this SSRS report for Umid, right? It's more or less the same. So when you're looking into the report, it's not complex. It's the stored procedures that are actually feeding into the report. Just in case any issue is there, you just need to look into the RDL file. Look into the stored procedure. It points to go into the stored procedure, check whether the logics are perfectly fine, and if needed, modify it. And if there is anything like the report itself is not working, mostly it is all related to the configurations as to whether it is pointing to the right server. That's the configuration manager, you have seen it, the right server, and whether the user ID and password is correct. That much will do for supporting an SSRS report or modifying an existing SSRS report. Aman, you feel confident about it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. थोड़ा सा मतलब first time when you try it out, right? Maybe थोड़ा सा difficulty हो सकता है, but it's not difficult. 1 hour, maybe 1 hour you actually spend try out here and there. You'll find that it is very easy.
Okay.
Keshav, you got anything out of this one?
Yeah.
Got it now? Very clear, right?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
Good. Lavanya?
Yes, sir.
Yes, madam. Fully clear, na?
Yeah,
Reports are
whatever you
clear.
explained today, it's clear, sir.
That much is clear. Okay,
Yeah.
very good. So tomorrow we will actually understand it from scratch. Starting from scratch, if you are generating a new SSRS report, how does it look like? Now, sometimes there are requirements within the existing customer. And see, in future, we will be migrating out of all SSRS reports and we'll move into Elasticsearch. And for that, there are two steps. One, the existing Elasticsearch reports, we are trying to make it very robust and much more powerful reports we are trying to generate. Unfortunately, what is happening is when these small requests are coming in, if you have noticed, right, at least some 10 to 15 minutes are going in, logging out, going from one server to the other server, client A to client B, and all of that. So what happens is it slows down the chances of building up the new reports and maintaining or managing the new reports. So unless there is a support from the existing team member who has already been working on the system, right? Sometimes we end up actually in the new code, a code which is not the code base, which is not the right code base for supporting it, right? So it is much more easier if the team member themselves take the complete onus, completely handles the issues that are coming in at that time. Because it is actually the code database is with you, the server is with you, right? The entire code base is with you, right? And logics are all with you. So it is very easy for you to actually change it. Okay. One other thing before we wind up, right? Let me go back to the system. Okay. Let me go back to the system. The common issues that we face, I think that is useful. I'll take another 10 minutes and then we'll wind up. Okay. The common issues that we face in the system, right? That is more useful because the issues that we are facing in a report are very simple. Simple basics. See, for example, see, the report is actually calculating basis BOM POS. But BOM POS in Adani is actually empty. Though the logic we have written it out recently, right? This is empty. So if logics are not designed well, when the data is actually the way the data is fed, either in the form of upload, if proper validations are not there, data is not cleaned up, what happens is the reports at the end doesn't really show up right. Right? Second, you see this one, the state is saying KA, MH, AA, and all of that, right? But when you see from the report perspective, it's different and probably not comprehensive. Correct? So the masters that are there, the input data that is coming in, this has been happening for close to about a year in Adani, right? The data is coming in like this only. Until yesterday, we went into a call. After believing that we have done all the job from our side and then going to the client says that, oh, okay, there is a mismatch about this one. Now they are actually waking up and they are giving this data. But unfortunately, it becomes nightmarish because the customer expects everything to work out fine, considering that the systems have been running for quite long time. But the data is not clean. Region is null, and they want the reports to work out perfectly, which is not possible. Right? Also, in some cases, right, you will see the certain columns are not stamped, created by, last modified by, those are not stamped, which turns out to be key columns on from the reporting perspective. Who has created this particular lead? And such kind of reports are required. And when we see how the data is being stamped, right, in the system, the created by column is empty for most of the many of the clients. Okay, I've seen it in Axion, I've seen it in Adani, and I've seen it in a few more clients, right? So if you actually see while you are doing development or while you are doing testing, if you notice that certain columns are not getting populated, please ensure that it is done and absolutely whatever is required is done, so that these issues, which are like very minute issues, but it really impacts in a big way when it comes to the reporting. It also affects the estimates which was done and the deadlines we were actually planning out with an idea that the data is clean, right? Clear, no? So many cases that those are the issues that we normally face, data issues mostly. And in terms of the stored procedures, right? Ensure that always it returns and zero a numeric value if you are having logic amount values and all of that. Do not allow nulls. Null values the SSRS report don't understand. So pick it up in terms of proper numeric values if it is an amount column. The summations and all of that, sometimes it actually fails because of that. Yeah, so that's it for today in terms of SSRS report maintenance. So troubleshooting and maintenance for today. Any questions at this point of time, or anything you are expecting for tomorrow's session? You have any questions for tomorrow's sessions or today's session? Imran, you got everything? Hello?
Yes,
Am I audible?
hello. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you got
Yes, sir.
everything, right?
Yes, sir. Some part I understand. I'll check in.
If you understood, Yako report will be done today. Correct? No?
Yes.
Okay. So more or less it's the same. Like just need to log in, check if the configurations are fine, stored procedures are fine, data is coming out fine or not. Mostly you'll be successful in getting the reports working. Okay.
Okay.
So any other questions? Anybody has any questions at this point of time? Raja, any questions?
No, sir.
No, sir. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay, fine. Vinod, any questions from your side?
No, I don't have any questions.
Any questions? Huh? Okay, done. So I think that's it for today. Tomorrow we'll catch up at 9:30 sharp, right? So 9:30 to 10:30 we will have the session, and next session will be about Elasticsearch reports. That will be in the next week. But these two things, once we are done, right? Mostly we should be able to support it, and in future, if there is a requirement, we can actually convert all these reports into Elasticsearch reports. Okay. Thanks a lot for joining in today. We'll catch up tomorrow, and we will have much more learning. And until then,
Please share the recording.
Yeah, sure. We'll put it in the folder. Yeah, okay. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank
So
you.
please join the Scrum call. Joe wants everyone to join the Scrum call. Please join the Scrum call. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam.